Hello, my name is Nathan Thomas, and I am with the Alliance. I've been with the Alliance for several years, and I've been in the insurance industry, life insurance industry, for over 20 years. Today, I'm just sharing some information with you guys I hope will be helpful. I'm basically going over the in-home presentation, but I like to preface this presentation with a couple things. One is, a lot of times I'm hesitant to give these type of trainings because for the most important thing that agents can do as far as sales, really 85% of the business is just making enough phone calls. Getting good on the phone so that you can book appointments, because if you learn everything about products, everything about sales techniques, but you don't have enough clients to sit down with, it's not going to do you any good. So this is really more for those that are already making a lot of phone calls, going out, and they just want to increase their odds a little bit more in the house. In the home, in my opinion, there's basically 5 steps to helping clients out. The first step really is the most important. And that's not necessarily what this training is about either. That first step is about building rapport and building trust. Because one thing we know is people do business with those that they trust. Also, people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so you have to genuinely love people, care about people, and let them know that you're there to help them, or none of these techniques that we're talking about are going to help either. So make sure you spend enough time, you're studying all the NAA University videos, reading the books on people skills so that you can build a proper amount of rapport. So that's the first step of the sales cycle in the house. The second step is really to do a detailed financial analysis. And I say detailed, but it usually only takes about 5 minutes, because you want to see their big picture and you don't want to assume what they need or what they don't need. What I use in the house to do that is still the A Little About You page. And this is just the variation I use right now. Actually, it's not my favorite. I'm probably going to make a couple more changes to it, but whatever you're using is better than nothing. Make sure, in my opinion, that you use something and that you actually write it out with the clients. One thing I found over time is, before we were using this, we were just using a legal pad. And sometimes if you ask people personal questions and all you have is a legal pad in front of you, people are hesitant to answer some of these questions. But for some reason, if you have a form, they feel obligated to answer the questions. So that's a big part. Number 3, so that number 2 helps you find the need, and also in there you'll find out more about their health situation in general, so you kind of know what direction you can go as far as products. So you really don't want to talk about a product and get all excited about it, and then come to find out after you ask that health information that they're not going to qualify for that product. So you kind of dig yourself a hole if you do that. The third is, the main reason you're building rapport, in my opinion, is so that you now have the ability and the authority to ask personal questions, and questions like, ma'am, if your husband doesn't come home from work tomorrow, what is going to be your financial situation? If people don't allow you, or you don't take the time to build a proper amount of rapport, what I've found over time is people will be hesitant to ask those personal questions or answer those personal questions in detail. This is an emotional sale, so you've got to ask emotional questions. The fourth step are concepts. So you found a need, so now we're talking about concepts. What are the solutions to fulfill those needs? That's what these trainings are going to be about. The 5th step after the concepts is really where you get down to the numbers, make some quotes, and try to find something within their budget. And then obviously do the e-app or the paperwork.